The Dust Bowl refers to a time period also happening in the 1930s where farmers were particularly devastated by a combination of a drought followed by windstorms. When this drought hit, and after farmers had worked this land for many years, there were no crops growing in it. So in the mid 1930s, when windstorms begin, it is going to pick up all of that topsoil and create these very large clouds of dust. This is going to create many problems for these farmers living in this area. As you can see from this picture, these created these very large clouds of dust that would consume anything in its path. It destroyed crops, destroyed their farms. People had no way of making a living because their crops were destroyed. So many farmers had to pack up and leave. It's also going to cause many health problems as well for the people living there. These particles would get in your lungs, causing what we call dust pneumonia, which led to many problems as well as many deaths. The Red Cross even set up hospitals all over the Midwest just to help treat people who were affected by these dust storms. Many people left their farms and migrated to the West. They were looking for work, mostly in the farm industry. Farmers who left specifically from Oklahoma were given the nickname Okies. There were many pieces of art that were created during this period about the Dust Bowl. One of the most well-known is a book written by John Steinbeck called The Grapes of Wrath. Many of you have probably read it in your English class. By 1935, even though FDR had been in office since 1933, our economy had not fully recovered like we had hoped. Even though it had not fully recovered, there were some successes. One of the biggest was the fact that there was enough relief to keep Americans from starving to death. Even though the economy had not recovered, even though there were these small successes, there were many people who were still suffering, and we have radicals develop who begin to demand more drastic action to help the American people out of this economic crisis. Some of these people are going to be three of these most well-known. Father Coughlin, for example, suggested that we tax the rich to then provide a level income for everyone. It's that kind of Robin Hood idea, steal from the rich to give to the poor. Huey Long was actually going to run against FDR for president. His campaign was called Every Man a King. He suggested a level income, a home, and a college education for everyone. Huey Long would have probably given FDR a little bit of competition in running for president had he not been assassinated. Francis Townsend also is going to come up with another idea. Francis Townsend is going to propose an income for the elderly specifically. We will look more closely at how FDR uses the ideas of his critics to turn around and create new programs for the American people in his second New Deal.